Good morning, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the AABN Core Committee, it is my sincere pleasure to welcome you all to our 227th weekly webinar. Your continued interest and active participation are what make this series so impactful, and we deeply appreciate your commitment. I would like to thank the Core Committee for the tireless efforts in organizing these sessions, especially in these challenging times. Today, we are joined by professionals from diverse domains, reflecting the strength of collaboration across industries and disciplines. As we look ahead, AABN remains committed to fostering meaningful dialogue and unlocking the vast potential that lies in bringing together individuals with varied backgrounds, perspectives, and expertise. It is now my honor to introduce our distinguished guest speaker, Mr. L. Pugazhenthy, Executive Director of the India-led Zinc Development Association, New Delhi. Fondly known as Mr. Pug, he is a veteran of the Indian metallurgical industry with nearly 50 years of experience spanning lead and zinc batteries, galvanizing, die casting, chemicals, and alloys. He is a metallurgical engineer by profession with postgraduate qualifications in business management and marketing. Mr. Pug has served as the past national president of the Indian Institute of Metals and chaired a sectional committee at the Bureau of Indian Standards, where he contributed to drafting national standards and environmental regulations for green recycling of lead batteries. Under his leadership, ILZDA, a 64-year-old non-profit body, continues to play a pivotal role in disseminating technical knowledge and promoting market development in zinc and lead sectors. His accolades include International Lead Metal Asian Battery Conference, Macau 2009, Hindustan Zinc Limited Gold and Platinum Medals, Indian Institute of Metals, Distinguished Alumnus Award, National Institute of Technology, Trichy 2014. There is so much to celebrate in Mr. Pug's journey that it is impossible to capture it all in one session. Those who know him say his enthusiasm is infectious, and we are fortunate to experience it firsthand today. A special thanks to Mr. N.S. Murthy for connecting us with today's speaker. Once again, a very warm welcome to all. Let's look forward to an engaging and enlightening session. Thank you, and over to you, Mr. Pug. Yes, sir, Mr. Pugazhenthy, you can start, sir.
Hey, Gopi, I don't see his ID.
No, is there no ILZDA?
No, it's gone now.
No, Irka, Pug.
Okay. Changed it.
Hello? Hello? Sir, you can start, sir.
Just 1 second, I am just trying to reconnect. Yeah, just hold.
There are two IDs.
Just, are you able to hear me now? So, Gopi?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can hear you, sir.
Anyway, when the presentation is set, I'll join. But before that, let me say Vanakkam and good morning from Delhi to all of you. And thanks for the very nice, warm introductory remarks. And I'm so delighted that all of you, distinguished in your own right, in your own fields, you all have taken some time on Sunday a day for relaxation and unwinding to join this kind of a webinar. I'm all the more delighted that you have been doing this every Sunday. This is the 227th in the series. I really compliment the alumni business. And are you able to hear Gopi?
We can hear you, sir.
Okay. But really, it is very heartening. I have been addressing many industry sectors, students, and colleges. But it's the first time I'm addressing alumni of a very esteemed university, Annamala University. And I believe you are going to celebrate your centenary in another 4 years. 96-year-old body, university. And I do remember my visit to Annamala University when I was too young. Maybe I was 5, 6 years old when my uncle was doing his undergraduation and post-graduation in Tamil literature in Chidambaram. I went there as a young baby, young child. I was admiring the campus, the food in the mess, etc. And Annamala University has produced luminaries, legends, parliamentarians, political figures, corporate leaders, and business leaders in your own way. And I must compliment the university. In fact, I should also admit that Annamala University is one of the earliest universities in India to start correspondence courses. Everyone had to go for more day classes or evening classes. But when the Open University correspondence courses were thought of, Annamala University was the first to do that. And I did join your university for completing my MBA, and I'm proud to be a master's degree holder from Annamala University. And today we are going to talk about a very strange subject. You may be talking about various aspects of the industry, economy, business, etc. Talk about metallurgical industry, a particular sector of the metallurgical industry, zinc industry, and lead industry in India. Both these two metals, zinc and lead, they are prehistoric materials, prehistoric metals, I would say. If you remember lead, it was used by the Greeks in plumbing fixtures, plumbing pipes, etc. And that's how the name plumbum you got for lead, and the symbol also PB, that's how you got it. And zinc also equally a very historic, ancient material. If you go to Rajasthan in Udaipur, you will see some crude brick-lined distillation furnaces. They were making zinc through vaporization, not the current electrolytic process, etc., which is a modern one for extracting zinc. So Indians were making zinc even those days for making alloys of zinc. Brass was extensively used. Brass utensils for prayers and prayer rooms and temples and household items, etc. That brass in a big way. Now, in my title slide, you see zinc and lead with recycling logos.
Can you make them a slideshow, sir? Hello? Just 2 minutes, he's reconnecting back.
We are not able to hear him.
One second, he's just joining back. 1 second, please.
Yeah, are you able to hear me, Gopi?
Yes, sir. We are able
I'm
to
so
hear.
sorry. Today there is an unusual interruption in the internet, and I'm going to be speaking mostly. I'm not going to use my slide presentation. So what I was telling was zinc and lead are very ancient materials, and today they are all used in modern applications like electric mobility, renewable energy, etc. Coming to zinc particularly, I should tell you the global zinc production is around 13.5 million tons. That is the global zinc production during 2024. And there are many countries who are involved in extraction of zinc. India is one of the largest producers of zinc. We have Hindustan Zinc Limited in Rajasthan. They have their own captive mines, very rich deposits of zinc and lead, which can last for several more decades. And that was originally a public sector Hindustan Zinc Limited, which was disinvested, privatized in 2002, and now it is owned by Vedanta Group. Anil Agarwal is the promoter. Now, coming to the global production, apart from India, China is a big producer, Sweden, Brazil, Peru, South Korea, they are all the major zinc producers. So this is about zinc. Now, if I talk about zinc usage in the country, about 72% of the zinc consumed in the country, practically 3/4, I would say, is all going for galvanizing of iron and steel products. Steel sheets, steel pipes, steel wires, steel structurals, etc. There is a process called hot dip galvanizing, by which you clean the steel articles through pre-treatment, chemical approach, degreasing, acid pickling, etc. Surface preparation is most critical before any protection method, whether it is painting or plating or galvanizing or zinc spraying, metal spraying. Surface preparation is the most essential part. It should be 100% free from rust, etc., oxide, grease, lubricants, all those things have to be removed. So surface preparation is the most important thing. In galvanizing, we ensure that by maintaining the strength of the solution, acid pickling, degreasing, etc., and also heating it to whatever desired temperatures. So galvanizing is the main application. And then I should tell you, we also have other applications like die casting, that is auto components, components used for builders hardware like door knobs and handles, etc. You also have components like heat sinks, etc., which are used in electronic application. So die casting, pressure die casting, or you call it just die casting, that is another application. The third application you all know, zinc dry cell battery, the small everyday battery, Nippo, Novino, Sony, Panasonic, small batteries which you use in remotes, your clocks, etc., toys also. So that's another application, everyday, and there's so many other players in the country. Then you also have another application, zinc wire. That is, zinc is molten and extruded into wire, zinc wire, which is used for metal spraying application. That is, there is a spraying gun, just like the guys who are painting your cars, etc. There is a spray gun through which a zinc wire is there, and then you melt it, and the molten droplets of zinc is just projected on the steel items, etc. So zinc wire is another application. Then, of course, I told you brass, alloys, etc. That is another application. So broadly about, you should remember 70 to 75% of zinc is all going for hot dip galvanizing. Now, let me tell you, galvanizing, I briefly explained to you, this is purely a factory controlled operation. There are many galvanizers like SAIL, Tata Steel, JSW, JSPL, Kalpataru, KE's International, L&T. They're all involved in this process of galvanizing, either for domestic orders or for export orders. Now, the beauty here in this galvanizing operation is that the jobs, whatever steel article, they're dipped in molten zinc. Melting point of zinc is 419 degrees centigrade or 420 degrees centigrade. So we keep it at a temperature of 450 degrees centigrade. The cleaned articles after degreasing, pickling, etc., they're dipped in molten zinc. I wish I could show you a picture. Unfortunately, slide was not supporting. Slide presentation has not been supporting my presentation today. So they're dipped in molten zinc for the limited time required, depending on the section thickness and the size of the job. It has to get heated to the galvanizing temperature, 450 degrees centigrade. Then the steel and zinc react. Two metals react. Steel reacts with molten zinc, and it forms on the top of the product. If you see a microstructure, it is a metallurgically bonded zinc coating that you will get after the galvanizing operation. If you're doing painting, it's only dried paint film which will be there, which keeps on flaking, getting removed, etc. But in the case of galvanizing, because molten zinc reacting with the clean steel at 450 degrees centigrade, it forms a series of alloy layers on top of the steel surface. And when you withdraw the job after the galvanizing reaction is over, it carries 100% zinc on top layer, that is 100% top layer on top. Below that, series of iron zinc alloy layers, eta, beta, gamma, various compositions. If anyone is interested, I don't want to go too metallurgical, too theoretical, so as to keep you interested in the subject. If any one of you want any literature, copy of my presentation, any other articles, I'll be very happy to send you. So the point I'm saying is, it's a metallurgically bonded coating with the steel product, whatever it be, sheet or pipe or wire or structure. Now, because of this, it has got excellent hardness, and it has got excellent abrasion and wear resistance. The coating does not get damaged during handling, loading on the truck or unloading from the truck, or during erection you may be handling. The coating is intact. Now, if you want to know how much will be the coating thickness, a typical mild steel angle after galvanizing, what is the thickness? It will be around 90 microns or 100 microns. Or I can just tell you in terms of grams per square meter, 800, 900 grams per square meter coating will be there. The whole thickness of the job or the weight over the steel surface, that will be around 800, 900 grams per square meter. or in terms of microns, it will be 80, 90 microns, etc. Now, this coating weight is normally mentioned as in terms of grams per square meter. We used to talk about microns. We used to talk about microns during the British era, etc. But now there's more of metric unit. The whole world talks about grams per square meter. And here, one thing I should tell you, the coating life is the coating life depends on two factors. The coated product, what is the life of the coating, you may ask me. It depends on two factors. One, the amount of coating that you have deposited, the thickness of the coating that you have deposited, and the atmosphere to which it is exposed. It can be a variety of atmosphere: rural, industrial, marine, tropical, semi-tropical, all kinds of conditions can be there. I have an excellent sort of a chart which I can share with you later. If you see that graph, the service life is directly proportional to the coating weight that you apply for a particular atmosphere, say a dry atmosphere. If you double the coating weight, you will get double the life in the dry atmosphere. Similarly, for a marine atmosphere, if you double the coating, you will get double. It is a linear relationship. More the coating weight you apply, you get more life. So what I'm trying to say, the Bureau of Indian Standards, BA specification for a structural item would specify 610 grams per square meter as the Indian standard. 610 grams per square meter on mild steel angle, which you use for telecom towers, railway electrification towers, power transmission line towers, 610 grams, which is equivalent to 86 micron. Normally, during galvanizing, you will always get much more than what is specified in the BA specification. That is, instead of 86 microns, you may get 90 micron, 100 microns, 85 micron. It can vary depending on the control of the process. One is the bath temperature, zinc bath temperature. Number two, immersion time, dipping time. Number three, how you are taking the job after galvanizing, whether you are taking vertically, angular, that decides the drainage of the molten zinc back to the kettle. So how you are withdrawing, the speed of withdrawal and the angle of withdrawal, that also decides your coating weight. Now, this one, galvanized zinc coating, okay, it can, as it is, give good life. For instance, in a rural atmosphere, you can get 50, 60 years of maintenance-free protection. This is something you all should understand. Zinc gives maintenance-free protection. Paint coating, you have to periodically apply, periodically apply for maintenance reasons. Every 2 years, every 3 years, you will keep on applying paint coating. Whereas in the case of hot dip galvanizing, once you are applied on the shop floor, that lasts for 50, 60 without any need for maintenance in between. I forgot to tell you, if you look at all the materials, each material has got a specific property advantage. Aluminum is known for electrical conductivity. Copper also similarly, electrical conductivity, thermal conductivity, etc. Zinc is known for its excellent corrosion resistance. Zinc is known for excellent corrosion resistance. Steel will always corrode, inevitable, depending on the atmosphere, marine, rural, industrial, dry atmosphere, the corrosion rate can vary. So steel will always corrode. The national corrosion losses in India are estimated at around 3-4% of our GDP. 3 to 4% of GDP goes through corrosion losses. Not only steel being lost, but also loss in productivity, idle time, and surface preparation, labor involved in cleaning, for repainting, regalvanizing, whatever. So the corrosion loss is significant. About 100 billion US dollar, that is the other estimate. Instead of GDP 3-4%, The other estimate is about $100 billion we lose every year. So this is something we cannot just forego or ignore. That is why galvanizing is an important protection method. Most of the zinc, as I said, is all going for galvanizing. Now here I should tell you, zinc has got one important property which is not there in any other coating material. All materials give barrier protection, protecting the steel from atmospheric attack, barrier protection. Zinc gives cathodic protection, sacrificial protection. What I mean here is zinc sacrifices itself even if there are some small areas which are not coated, uncoated areas. Suppose for poor surface cleaning or surface preparation, if it is just not getting coated there, the surrounding zinc will sacrificially protect the exposed uncoated area. And here what's happening is, hello, are you able to hear me, Gopi? Hello?
Yes, sir, we can hear you, sir.
Yes, sir, we can hear
Okay,
you.
okay, because suddenly
We're
I
able to
thought
hear
I am
you.
lost
We're able
or
to hear
what. So the zinc sacrificially protects the uncoated area. This is a value added benefit, I should tell you. Are you able to see the slides now? Copy?
Yes, sir, we
Yes.
can, sir.
Yeah. You can see the linear relationship that I was mentioning to you, directly proportional, etc. And now let me see that. Now, the next point I would like to mention here is, if you want to increase the life of galvanized steel, you can also go for applying a paint coating. Apply a paint coating. Apply a paint coating over the galvanized coating. Color coating. Color coating you can apply over the zinc coating, which is called duplex coated. You must be seeing the blue colored corrugated sheet on roofs of sheds and structures and godowns and warehouses. You might have seen that blue colored roofing sheet, corrugated sheet. They are all color coated galvanized steel sheet. That gives indefinite life, maybe about 100 years. About 100 years life you will get with that kind of a duplex coated product. Normal. Now you are able to see the potential markets I'm showing in for galvanizing. I think you are able to see that.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Yeah. These are all areas where there is a potential for corrosion prevention, and steel is exposed everywhere, and we should apply zinc coating so that 100 years or 60 years, 70 years of life you will get, and you are also conserving material, conserving the steel, prolonging the life of the galvanized steel, etc. Now, I should also tell you the potential application. You are seeing this galvanized rebars. I think you are seeing the galvanized rebar. We all know, being engineers, this concrete cracking, distress in RCC structures, they are very widely occurring even in normal atmospheres. Forget about very corrosive coastal or chemical atmospheres, etc. Concrete cracking is very common, and that's because of the rebar underneath getting corroded, being acted upon by the water and maybe other SO2, CO2 penetration, etc. Chloride ions also can penetrate, and they really attack the underlying steel, and that's how the concrete gets dislodged or gets removed. This galvanized rebar, you may be thinking today I'm talking during World War and World War II. Many countries in the Western world, particularly Bermuda Island, Trinidad, Tobago, many areas, they had used galvanized rebar in an extensive way. And I should also tell you, for concrete mixing, unfortunately, they had to use the seawater. Unfortunately, those countries. So seawater aggregates, And then they had used it for those construction. And despite all that, because the concrete cover there and the zinc protection property, they lasted for several decades. I got case studies, 98, 96, 97% zinc remaining, despite seawater aggregate, seawater being used for concrete mixing and very corrosive location. So much of residual coating was there after several years. So that's a proven method, and India, we have been promoting it for a long time. In India, we went around the country addressing Institute of Engineers, various CPWD, PWD, highways, roadways, etc. And we educated them quite a bit, but they are all very sensitive about the extra cost. Unfortunately, they don't calculate how much money they are losing in periodic repair and maintenance. That is something like a regular practice they do every 1-2 years. But they don't look at the repetitive loss of money, the corrosion losses that they are, the money also they are losing, unfortunately. So we always say you better invest in galvanizing 6 to 7%, 8%. If you are galvanizing more tonnage, your cost comes down. If you galvanize only 100 tons of rebar, your cost will be quite high. Transport cost to the galvanizing plant, cost of galvanizing, and cost of retransport to the location of the site. But if you galvanize more, L&T has been galvanizing more, and they are using in many construction. L&T Pondicherry, L&T Pithampur, L&T Mumbai, they have got different works, etc. So they are all using so much. The first application which we had in our country was the Baha'i temple, Lotus temple, which is there in New Delhi. And this is something which L&T was the consultant, and they came to our organization and they wanted it's a monumental value here. Rebar and the structure should be made without any yellow stain or rust stain or spoiling the image of the building. So we told them Sydney Opera House in Australia, Sydney Opera House, they have used it for, I think, 1970 onward, and it's so nice. So we said, why don't you use it in Delhi for the Baha'i temple? They have used it. Even today, you can come and see whenever you come to Delhi, go and see it. It's absolutely white structure like Taj Mahal there without any repair or maintenance, etc. And this rebars, not only for this kind of monumental value, it has been used for any kind of coastal structure. Mangalore, I'm showing there, a guest house being constructed there, and they are using galvanized rebar. Similarly, Vizag, another coastal location, power plant. So a number of my members, and there's one company in Chennai, they are also galvanizing rebar and giving it to many residential buildings in ECR and Mahabalipuram and near Chennai, etc. Residential, can you believe they are all using it? So this is something, a potential product for India. You know, we are spending so much money on infrastructure and construction, coastal areas, highways, etc. Therefore, it is just we should popularize. We should use this proven coating. Forget about the initial cost. Look at the total cost of repair, maintenance during the life of the structure. If you do that, galvanizing is the cheapest protection, most economical method. And painting, you go on maintaining for every 2-3 years, and nobody does any cost calculation. They spend much more, and maybe they're keeping the contractors engaged again and again, keeping the department saving the money, but they are not saving. They're in fact spending much more. Therefore, with galvanizing, the cost of galvanizing, the original cost, that is the last cost, because you never have to spend any money for repair, paint, and maintenance, etc. in between. Therefore, galvanizing is very widely done across the world. And today, if you 72%, I said for India, internationally it's around 70%. And the rest of the applications are all there. Now let me move to zinc die casting. I mentioned about auto components, builders hardware, and components like zippers and sliders. They are also die cast. The molten zinc metal, which is really uh, cast through a machine, which I'll be showing a little later. Machine is there, hot chamber or cold chamber machine. Through this is the machine, hot chamber for zinc machine. You can see the furnace, and there's a die there, movable die, fixed die, forming a part of the furnace itself. That is what's called hot chamber. The other one you can see a ladle through which you take molten metal from a holding furnace, a melting furnace. You ladle the quantity required and you pour into the plunger, and then it closes, and the casting is there in between the two dies. One die will retract and then the component falls down. All there are so many die casters in Chennai. Sundaram Dynacast is one of the well-known ones, and the Sundaram Clayton is another one. There's so many big die casters. Auto components are the biggest products from this process. And next one, if you see, yeah, you can see zinc die casting you are using everywhere, but we never realized this has been die cast using zinc components, small components for the mixie grinder, all small ones you were saying, that's all zinc die cast. And then it is a middle one, you see the bathroom faucets, the bathroom fitting nicely gold plated, zinc die cast. You can have any amount, any number of platings here, chrome, nickel, gold, silver, brass, whatever plating you want. And of course, your razor, you always use it, but you never knew. Such a heavy piece when you take it in your hand, and you must be using it every day for shaving, etc. This mash tree is a zinc die cast, and all those small toys, mostly they're coming from China, which we are buying for our children, grandchildren. They're all made in China. India should do them. All small buses, cars, bikes, all kinds of metal toys, beautifully painted and looks nice and long lasting. And then the bathroom locks, domestic locks, etc. Even the pencil sharpener. I don't know. You must be seeing the plastic sharpener. Next time you'll ask for a metal zinc die cast, white in color, slightly heavier than the plastic one. So that's a zinc die cast sharpener. So I think with this, I'm finishing zinc, and I'll have to start now talking about lead, another important material in the country we have been using, and this lead production and consumption in the country has been going up and up year after year. The top one is the secondary lead or recycled lead. That's around 8 lakh tons, mostly coming from the used lead batteries from cars, railway coaches, scooters, motorcycles, tractors, and all applications. So used lead battery is a huge affair in this country. I'll be talking more about batteries later. And primary lead, this is the lead produced by Hindustan Zinc from natural resources. Galena, lead sulfide, that is the ore, and they are producing zinc as well as, though it's called Hindustan Zinc, both zinc and lead occur together in the natural deposit as a mineral, as an ore body, it occurs together. So whenever you extract zinc, you will always extract lead also. So Hindustan Zinc has been extracting about 2.5 lakh tons of primary lead, and it's called primary and secondary. There's no difference in the quality. You can make similar quality through both the processes, high purity lead. Secondary is secondary route of making or manufacturing lead. The other one, primary lead, originally we have been using this for a long time, for several centuries from extractive metallurgy. And the primary lead is from the natural resources, that is the primary route. So these two are the roots only, not having any impact on the quality or the purity of the material. We're also importing about 1.5 lakh tons of lead over and above whatever. And some of them were exporting batteries. they are entitled to import duty-free import of lead. They are making advantage of that benefit.
Well,
So together, we are consuming about 12 lakh tons in the country. And here I should mention authorized recycling units. Now, for a long time, recycling was a free affair. Anybody could do that. But because of various considerations, environmental, health considerations, the effect of lead on the human health, etc., we have ensured that all the lead recycling plants should register with the respective state pollution control board to meet the pollution norms, environmental regulations, Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board and various other boards. So together in the country, 30 pollution control boards, we have about 675 recycling units, and the total capacity is 3.5. It's actually much more. It is 3.5 million tons. It's not lakh, 3.5 million tons. Yeah, 675. There are many Gravita, Nile, and Pandi oxide. There's so many lead recyclers spread across the country. My estimate, the way it's growing in this country, 2028, India should be making about 50, making and consuming about 15 lakh tons. It's galloping. The demand is galloping. Next one, please. Yeah, you can see how India's lead metal output during the last 2 decades. You can see the graph going up and up. It's exponential. It's linear growth, continuous growth for the last 20 years. India's curve, while others, US has dipped, started, but then it has come down. And then you see Japan and Australia also at the bottom, and Korea went up and it has come down now. Indian graph has been going up, and this is from the International Lead and Zinc Study Group, Lisbon, Portugal. Not my data, not Government of India. So lead demand going up and up every year in this country. Next one, please. You may be wondering why this kind of a growth. You will see the next picture, next slide. Yeah. Next slide, you will see lead. Next slide, Sridhar. Hello. So, Sridhar, Sridhar, are you there? Anyway, lead battery is the one which brings about this much of growth. The lead is affordable energy source. Its price so low, unlike lithium batteries, etc. And you can have just lead battery purchased anywhere from a dealer next around the corner. And also, this is one product which is finding very wide application, which I'll be showing a little later. And the most important thing I want to tell you here is, see the slide down. The most important thing is the recyclability. Lead is 99% recycled in this country. It's a low melting material, 327 degrees centigrade, and it's easy to melt and remove the lead from the lead plates, etc., components in the battery. And this is the cheaper input for reuse. The cheapest input for reuse in the new batteries. And the batteries have been continuously undergoing technology upgradation, like advanced lead carbon batteries, VRLA batteries, maintenance batteries. Continuously, we are seeing technology upgradation. And this battery is one product which has seen steady growth for the last 45, 50 years. And the annual growth rate is around 6% growth in demand for lead batteries. Now, lead usage in the country, like I was telling you for zinc, about 75% of the lead consumed in the country is all going for lead battery manufacture. Your large manufacturers, Exide, Amaron, Luminous, Tata Green, and there are at least 5,000 MSME battery manufacturers, lead battery manufacturers across the country, for mainly making batteries for the replacement market. One is the OEM supplies by the main producer, the other is the replacement batteries, and they are all catering to the local needs, this MSME units. And the remaining ones would be cable sheathing. That is, lead is coated as a sheathing, as a cover on the cables, power cables, etc. Then we also make lead oxide, lead sulfate, etc., chemicals, which is a minor percentage. So about 75% of our lead goes in the batteries. Slide, sir. So now lead battery, if I have to tell you, it is there everywhere. In the railway coaches, you are enjoying the fan, lighting, etc. in a railway coach, but below your coach, there are a number of lead batteries below your coach, maybe 4, 5, 6 batteries down below your coach, where you are sitting or where you're sleeping. So that is the one application which goes unnoticed. I don't have to say much about batteries used in cars, scooters, motorcycles. Sorry, sorry. So automobile is another big sector. In fact, automobile is the biggest application for lead batteries. Then the inverters. If I remember, for a long time, India, every house wanted to have an inverter. Whenever the power goes, power cuts, they wanted to have a backup. That is how inverter came into the country. I remember many parts of the country had power cuts, particularly during summer months. So now what's happened is inverter has become a must for ensuring connectivity, for ensuring Wi-Fi all the time in your house. Even if something goes wrong with the grid supply, you won't have internet, you won't have Wi-Fi. So this internet is such a thing that inverter has become an essential ingredient in every house. UPS below your computers, you all know that. And also telecom towers. Telecom tower, next time when you go, just see the telecom tower. Below the tower, there will be an AC cabin. And inside the AC cabin, there will be a huge number of lead batteries giving power to the telecom towers continuously. So lead batteries very widely used in the telecom sector. Now with all the talk that is going on for renewable energy, solar panels and then energy storage, that's another area where lead batteries are being used in a big way. And maybe in future, lithium batteries can come. But unfortunately, I should tell you, lithium is not available as a natural resource in many countries. India does not have even 1 gram of lithium deposit. So it has to come mostly from the used lithium batteries, recycling. That will take quite some time. Now it's all manufactured from China. They are exporting lithium batteries, and they have cornered lithium mining countries in Latin America, Africa, many parts, and they are sourcing lithium from there, making batteries in China, lithium cells and exporting, etc. And you also would have seen, I don't know, street lights. Street lights, whether you've seen, over the street light, you will have solar panels and with some batteries also there in the pole. So street light, traffic lights, they are also using in a big way. Now I'm coming to electric vehicles, e-rickshaws, which is very common in the country now. They're all powered by lead batteries, e-rickshaws. Two-wheelers, yes, some of them are using lead batteries. Some of them are using imported lithium batteries, slightly expensive, but maybe some want to have that. But unfortunately, electric vehicles, much as we like to talk, it has not picked up in a big way because of lack of charging infrastructure in the country. Your gas stations, petrol bunks, and for diesel, etc., every nook and corner, highways, cities, small cities, etc. But you don't have charging infrastructure. That's a big bottleneck. But companies are investing, government is investing on charging infrastructure. This will take some time. Sorry. Energy storage is we have an ambitious target. By 2022, we wanted to have 175 solar energy, so 175 gigawatt solar, and that was our target. And we must have achieved around 150 gigawatt or so by now, mostly solar and to some extent some wind. By 2030, 2030, our target for renewable energy is 500 gigawatt. That is the target. And now we have got not only ground-mounted solar park, solar panels, you have on the riverbed, you have on the desert area also in Rajasthan, you can see solar panels, a huge chunk of solar panels there. Wind energy is catching up. Nagarcoil is one place in Tamil Nadu where you can see huge number of wind towers when you travel by train, etc. So wind energy is catching up, but more important is the solar energy where we are investing heavily. And that's picking up, and we have big this clean energy. In future, that should be the option. Coming to electric mobility, which again the government has been talking quite a bit. Now, EV adoption in the country is quite low. If you see the world average, that's around 16%, and India is around 7.6%. Now, that's the EV adoption. And here then, and if you look at EV penetration, you can see the penetration for 2024 and 25. Three-wheelers is around 57.3 in 2025 EV penetration. And similarly, you have three-wheelers, two-wheelers, and for cars, etc. the total. So this is the EV adoption. It's slowly picking up, but the point is the consumers are worried about the charging facility, and slightly expensive also. Whenever there were incentives by the government for electric vehicles, the sales were going up. The moment government realized there is no need for subsidy now, we are withdrawing the subsidy, the sales started declining. It started coming down. But electric vehicles will take some time. In fact, I see even in Europe also, though they're talking so much, it has not picked up in a big way. So EV is the story there. Now let me go to the regulation, environmental regulation. Battery waste management rule. This battery waste management rules covers 2022. This covers all battery chemistries, not only lead, lithium battery, nickel cadmium, zinc dry cell battery, zinc air cell, sodium sulfur, all kinds of chemistries are covered by this battery waste management rule. We were a part of the committee, CPCB committee, for framing this rule. Before that, if you see 2001 BMHR, battery management handling rule, that was mainly for lead batteries only, which was again drafted by ILSDA, my organization, consulting regulation other countries. So now the battery waste management rules 2022 covers all batteries, and you can see the waste battery, end of the battery, end of life battery, etc., which are the batteries which are covered under this. It applies to all battery manufacturers, battery dealers, battery consumers, and all entities involved in collection, store, segregation, etc., and exempts batteries given to defense and peace, etc. Now let me see the next one. Yeah, BMHR, battery management handling rules. Here you can see EPR, extended producer responsibility. That is, the producer has a responsibility, battery producer has a responsibility to collect the battery and recycle it in a safe manner and reuse in the battery again. And that's how the loop circular economy should continue. So EPR is the main provision here in this BWMR, unlike the earlier one, where everybody was there. Manufacturer, dealer, importer, consumer, everyone was covered there. And the BMHR, next one, Sridhar. Yeah, now I'm coming to the concluding part of my presentation. Both zinc and lead, after aluminum and copper, these are the most important non-ferrous metals used in the country, third and fourth in the country, mostly domestically produced, either from primary or recycling routes. And because of the high GDP growth rate, 6.5%, 6.3%, we are seeing continuous high GDP growth, the economy growing, and therefore the application of these two materials, zinc and lead, will continuously increasing in this country. Automobile production or infrastructure, telecom structures, power, highway guardrails, they are all galvanized. And many of them are getting zinc coated because government realizes, both the center and the state, that this is the most economical, long-lasting maintenance protection. And India, we are increasing steel production. India, the second largest producer in the world after China, as per the World Steel Association. Zinc production, I already told you enough. Therefore, India has got everything. You got steel here, you got zinc here, infrastructure thrust here, investments here, ideal atmosphere for using them, maximizing their usage. And of course, the export opportunity. Galvanized sheets, for instance, they are exported in a big way. Corrugated sheets or plain sheets. Similarly, galvanized structures for power transmission line towers and telecom towers, these are also being exported from the country. And die-cast components, zinc die-cast components. There's a huge opportunity India can produce. The capability is here, the skill is here, the capacity is here, manufacturers are here. And we got excellent facilities, as I told you, Sundaram Group and all that. We got in Gurgaon also excellent die casters. So huge export opportunities there, which we are not exploiting. Now I'm also talking about the informal recycling of lead. Lead is one material which has got toxic effects on the atmosphere, human health, environment, etc. Therefore, lead cannot be just melted and recycled in a casual manner. It has got rotary furnace, refining furnace with all the air pollution control systems, waste management, waste disposal, etc. And therefore, we encourage in this country the informal recycling, which is there in the country in a small way. And this should be completely eliminated. Lead should be recycled in a green manner, in a safe manner. And zinc, I forgot to tell you, in galvanizing, in zinc particularly, whenever you're galvanizing, the top surface, molten zinc gets oxidized, zinc gets oxidized. That becomes like a composite material of oxide, chloride, etc. And that is mainly used for manufacture of zinc sulfate. The zinc ash from the galvanizing plant is used for manufacture of zinc sulfate, which is an essential agricultural micronutrient used across the country. Soil should have enough zinc, so that zinc is essential for human health, for you and me, for children, women, everyone. Therefore, the zinc comes through vegetables and rice, grains, whatever we consume. So the zinc sulfate is one product which is being manufactured from zinc ash, a waste product from the galvanizing plants. Similarly, in galvanizing, while you're melting the zinc reacts with the steel and forms some kind of a waste product, zinc dross, which settles at the bottom, which is an intermetallic compound. That's another waste product. Zinc ash is one, zinc dross is another. And this zinc dross is used for manufacture of zinc oxide, used for rubber, tire, manufacture, ceramics, various applications. Therefore, the waste products are recycled and reused in the industry, reused in the agriculture sector. Market development. In India, we still feel there's a huge opportunity for both the zinc and lead for maximizing their usage. We should popularize their use in as many applications and maximize their use in existing applications and find new markets new applications also. And consumer awareness, it is a continuous game, continuous engagement with the consumer, whether industry or individual or government sector, which we from ILSDA, we have been doing this consumer awareness. So in short, I wanted to highlight all these aspects, but more the merrier. If you want more details, I can always send the questions to you through email or maybe hard copies. If you want me to courier for your reading purposes, I'll be delighted. And thank you very much, Gopi, and thank you very much for the organizers and the president also. Thanks all of you that you take the time to listen to me on a Sunday, which is a day for your family, a day for relaxation, a day for unwinding, I think. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your excellent session. We'll now keep the floor open for question and answers, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, participants, you may please unmute and ask your questions, please.
Maybe the name and
Yeah, we can start with Mr. Murthy. Murthy, sir, VTM, sir.
They're all tired of my lecture, I think.
Thank you so much. It was an excellent lecture. You have covered the whole process of the zinc, right from raw material till the various uses. It's an excellent thing. So, how about you were saying the zinc dross is used for zinc oxide? Is it, how does the process work? Zinc oxide conversion to zinc oxide?
Actually, it's a zinc oxide. It is purchased by some of the manufacturers, and they have a thermal route by which they take the zinc as a vapor, they condense it, and then the zinc oxide powder is manufactured. It's mainly a vaporization process, thermal route. And I can send you more details if you want technical details. I've just briefly given you the approach.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Murthy. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Priya, you want to go?
Yeah.
Please.
Hi, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for the informative session. I just wanted some clarity on the lead numbers that you have shown. You have mentioned that secondary way, it is around like 8 lakhs
8
tons.
lakh tons, yeah.
Yeah. So secondary is a recycled, right?
Correct.
So if I go through the numbers, so the total ton requirement is around 12, and 8 is is through the secondary. So which says that around 70, no, sorry, around 75% is through not 66.66% is through
Recycling.
every lead is recycled. So all the consumer, automotive, industrial, UPS, every industry is using around 66% of recycle. Is that a right assumption?
You are partly right, because most of the lead used for manufacture of new batteries is all recycled in the country. You know, this recycling we have been doing for the last 40, 50 years, as I told you. There's so much inventory in the ecosystem. So the
Yeah.
lead battery, you don't have to go digging into the mother earth for the lead, etc. So most of the lead for UPS, inverter, new batteries, they are all coming from the recycled lead. And some companies like Exide, etc., they also do blending, mostly recycle and some amount of primary lead, so that you get a better raw material for manufacture of high purity materials, etc. So largely it is all secondary lead in new batteries, all applications. We also import. Yeah.
Okay.
You saw the primary lead 2.5 lakh tons.
Yeah.
Zinc. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw. So that's why I was thinking in terms of ratio that so we are mostly going to maximize the usage of the recycle lead material. That's what I
Correct.
understood.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It has got
Thanks.
so much economic value, used batteries.
They're hunting for the used battery. The kabadi wala who come to the house now for newspaper, plastic bottles, he always asks you, do you have lead battery? Do you have car battery? He knows it has got economic value.
Yeah. So, sir, are the organizations doing it for the like for the environmental benefit? Maybe they get it from government, or are they doing it for the cost effectiveness using the recycle?
Recycling is the cheapest approach, cheapest route of making lead, recycling.
Okay.
You only have to collect the material enough and transport, recycle and reuse. That's the cheapest way. Government need not do anything. It's automatically the price is the lowest here in used batteries. And that is preferred by recyclers there across the country. If you want, I can send you a list of recyclers who are my members. I
Sure,
can
sir.
share with you. I showed you in the slide 675 lead recyclers across the country.
Yeah.
They are all listed in the respective State Pollution Control Board website. Tamil Nadu, if you see, you will get all the names. And if you go to Karnataka Pollution Control Board, you will get the names there and all that. Yeah.
But sir, there's some clarity that again I need. It has been mentioned that the recycle battery manufacturer has a recycle lead has a capacity of around 3.5 lakh tons. But are
3.5
you
million, 3.5
that's
million tons.
3.5 million
I
tons? Okay.
mentioned million I was mentioning there.
Okay.
That should
Okay.
have been
Fine.
shown in my slide.
Okay. So
Maybe
then we
we'll
have a
correct.
huge capacity then in that case.
Huge, it's a really a huge capacity, and most of the recyclers will be operating at very low capacities, 40%, 50%, 60%, maybe 70%. They are not operating 100%. It's a huge sector, yeah, number
Sure.
wise.
Sure. So in case if I'll have any other doubt, I'll write to you.
You can ask Gopi for my email ID, and
Yeah.
then I can share with you what you are doing. Some any research or studying.
I was doing some study on the lead acid battery, so that's why this question came up.
This is
Okay.
what you are working for any institution or any NGO or what is that?
I'm working for a client, so for that I'm looking for this.
Chennai based?
So little confidential, I'll share you.
Okay. You write to me, I'll share that. For me, nothing is gone. I will be sharing very happily the information with everybody, not only
Sure.
you. Okay, thank you.
Of
Yeah.
course, of course.
Okay, yeah. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah. Bye.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, it's a very good presentation, and I think it's an eye opener. My two questions I have used informal sectors. I'm from actually the waste management services, which is based in Mumbai, and we are pan India, where we have about operate in 20 states. But you talked about basically informal sectors. How can we regulate these and go through the authorized sectors like us, because our area is EPR. Our focus is on EPR. So how can we regulate this, sir? That thoughts from your side.
Actually, it's a very good question you are asked me. Informal sector, in my lectures, my talk, I always say informal sector should not be there in our dictionary. It should be just disappear very soon. Unfortunately, it has spread in this country for two reasons, if I can tell you. One is whenever you buy a new battery, you go to a dealer. He takes your old battery. And that dealer, what he does, he gives it to a middleman or a merchant or somebody who comes and collects the old batteries, 5 old batteries or 10 old batteries from the dealers. And he gives it to the informal sector who do not want to invest in technology, crude setups. And the yield is very low, emission is high, polluting, and they have been operating like this for a long time. And we from ILSDA have been telling Ministry of Environment, Forest and CPCB, we should go with strict implementation and monitoring of the environmental regulation. Regulations are there for lead recycling. Unfortunately, I should tell you, state pollution control boards are not very active in implementing and monitoring. I've been seeing this. they just keep quiet or they just let people operate. If I can tell you confidentially, don't quote me, it's very well known. Some of them, they take money and allow people to operate also. This is very well known. You give money and you operate, I won't come to your plant. That is something happening in this country. My answer, my simple answer is the State Pollution Control Board should be very strict. MOEF, I've told many times, Ministry of Environment, Forest, Central Pollution Control Board, they should really activate. Sometimes Supreme Court has given very strong judgments that regulatory bodies should wake up. They should tighten the belt and tighten the screws or whatever and see that these people do not get the material. Now, the second point I want to tell you, the battery waste management rules, it covers everybody, producer, consumer, recycler. Dealer is missing in the BWMR, the new rules, which I have been telling. The earlier one, BMHR, dealers were there. Dealers were supposed to collect the old batteries. They're supposed to file returns also to the Pollution Control Board. How many new battery I sold, how many old battery I collected, and where it went. So they were supposed to file returns also, dealers. This was there in the earlier legislation, but now it is not there in BWMR, which we have been telling. Why you dropped, why you avoided dealers? They are the prime focus of this legislation, BWMR. We are harping on them. We are putting pressure on the government. Let us hope so.
Okay, sir. My second, anyway, thank you for that insight, sir. I know it is not in our hands, but anyway,
No, but still we'll tighten. We'll tighten the.
Yeah, if you tighten it, will be very good to take care of the environmental. But my last question here, sir, can LCDA can give the list of organizations who are in the battery management, sir?
Battery recycling. Battery recycling.
No, sir. Who wants to dispose? Organizations who want to dispose, because ours is a approved. We are the licensed thing to collect the battery or to do the EPR. Can I have the list here from through your organization, sir?
No, I don't. I have the list of battery manufacturers. I have the list of battery recyclers.
The recyclers we have, sir, but the company who uses, yes, sir.
We don't have the list which you want. I can tell you, railways is one, State Road Transport Corporation, electricity boards, and also telecom companies. It's a big list. Unfortunately, we don't have, but I can tell you the sectors. These are the sectors.
Okay.
State Road Transport Corporation, railway, defense, telecom companies. These are the bulk users, and they normally auction the batteries through periodic tenders and all that.
Okay.
And you can even tie up locally with your battery dealers in your city or town.
Okay.
I'll buy batteries from you. You collect and I'll give you this much price. You'll have to pay a better price to get the battery from the dealers. They are giving to somebody else now.
Okay.
You should tie up with the local battery dealers.
Yes, sir. We have our own battery dealers because I basically do the compliance part of it.
Okay.
And we have the across pan India, we have the recyclers, sir. I want the corporates who can know where you can help through your this thing. It will
in your city, or maybe other cities also, you will have your dealers. There are other battery dealers, I'm saying, those who are not dealers of your company. They may be dealers of MSME battery manufacturers.
Okay.
They may be dealers of other companies. So you should tie up with all battery dealers, not only your dealer.
Okay, sir.
That is the point I was telling. You can have a tie-up. What of an MOU?
Okay, sir. Thank you very much for the insights.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
Write to me if you want any more information. Yeah.
Yes, Anil Kaushik.
Yeah. How are you?
Hello, sir. I'm good. How are you, sir?
Absolutely fine, Anil.
Yes, sir. I have one question.
Yeah.
It is not related directly with here. I just want to know some question related to the lead process. Lead. We were making lead steel almost 25 years back.
Lead steel.
At the time steel. Lead bearing steel. So at the time of lead bearing steel, when we added lead from in the ladle, so it was giving a lot of fumes. So at the time, people were not very much aware about the PPE equipments mostly. So a lot of fume goes inside body. So I wanted to know what type of the effect it gives to the body, and whether it is because somebody tells that lead is a heavy metal, so it is always present in the body. It does not go out, but how it remains in the body, something like that. If you can just give some idea. And vermilion also, people are using lead there. So is there anything which can replace lead in the vermilion? Just for my knowledge, I want to know, sir.
Anil, I think PPE is a must in lead activity, any sector, whether you make batteries or whether you are recycling or whether you are processing. First, PPE is a must. Head to foot, you need to cover. You go to Gravita recycler in Jaipur, you will see how they are so well protected. Not only hand, not only the mouth, the ear, plug and everything, head also is covered. The lead fumes, it gets into the body and lead gets deposited on the bone, your bone and my bone. It gets deposited on the bone and it can create serious health problems. Kidney disorder, lung disorder, sometimes they say even cancer also maybe. So lead is a hazardous material. It cannot be just melted like you are dealing with steel scrap, etc. You have to protect the workers and they have to wear it, whether summer or winter or monsoon, they have to wear. It's a must. And apart from that, you should also have the ducting, air pollution control systems, etc. How you can take out the lead in the fumes or lead dust in the air and how you can suck it away from the workplace. That is a parallel approach. I can give you do's and don'ts if you want later. If you send an email through or even WhatsApp, you can send me. I'll send you all the precautions which are very, very, very essential for this lead industry. It cannot be a very casual approach. Vermilion and all that, forget about it, please. People used to do a lot of, they say we used to take vitamin tablet. It can give you some satisfaction, you're taking some action, but more needs to be done for PPE of the workers and the environment around also. I'll give you the detail. Please share your email ID.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Hemant Lokre. I work with Praj Industries in Pune.
Which industry?
Praj, P-R-A-J, Praj
That's
Industries.
okay, okay.
And we are actually manufacturers of modules and equipments, basically, structural modules, where we require galvanizing particularly. So, you know, this hot dip galvanizing, which requires large size baths, right? So, large structures that we manufacture generally are difficult to be dipped in these baths, basically, because the bath size is very limited. So, some of the options that are available are spray galvanizing, which you also mentioned. So, I just wanted to understand whether that spray galvanizing, how effective is compared to the hot dip galvanizing process.
First and foremost, I would like to see the dimensions of the modular structure that you're talking about. Maybe later you can send, not through this forum. Length, dimension, height, weight, etc. One possibility, there are large baths also in this country. Bajaj, Kalpatar, 16-meter long baths, etc. Wide enough, 1 meter, 1.5 meter. They can dimensions. There may be small baths near your town or where you live.
Yeah.
And also double dip galvanized, that's a process.
Mhm.
If the object is longer or wider, we also go for double dipping operation. One half is dipped in first dip, and then you turn it around, and the second portion is dipped in the second stage. That's what we call double dip galvanizing. So one is that part. Let me have an idea about the size, dimensions, etc. Spray galvanizing is also equally effective. Here, standard structures are all tied to the jigs and fixtures, dipped, etc., mild steel angles, or maybe tubular products, etc. Here, you can also go for good cleaning and then depositing the zinc through spraying gun or whatever. Zinc powder or zinc wire is used. And there you have to decide how much coating weight you would deposit. Galvanizing can give about maybe 600 grams per square meter, and you should decide. Also, the structures, where are they going to be exposed? Inland or inside the house, inside the factory or outside? Corrosive, we have to have a look at those things. And then you should decide. It is equally, as I told you, the service depends on the coating weight that you deposit. I mentioned there. The coating weight you deposit, that is the one which decides the service. The higher the coating weight, higher the life. So the judgment you have to do, we can guide you also. But first, let me see the pictures and the dimensions. They're equally good. Are you exporting also?
Yeah, we are exporting. Basically, these structures are close to the coastal regions
Oh, I
where
see.
these needs to be galvanized. Otherwise, the painting is normally followed. But wherever it's a coastal
Painting?
area, yeah,
But
that is
the
also some of
country.
the requirement.
So
Yeah,
your customers must be insisting what coating you should
yeah.
do and export?
Yes. So customer generally specifies galvanizing wherever it's near to the coastal areas, and some of the customers who are inland locations, they generally prefer having painted structures. The dimensions of the module you generally we handle is standard one. It's 4.5 meters by 4.5 meter. Length can be around 15 to 40 meters. Uh, but these are structures which are cuboids basically.
Which are?
So cuboids, basically.
Okay.
4.5 by 4.5, and it's an empty structure. So generally, dipping it completely doesn't serve the purposes. So you uh, generally dip the members, structural
Yeah.
members, then you weld it at the corners, and then you spray painting at the corner locations. That's how.
So this modular structure you're talking about, the
Mm.
individual members, can they be galvanized prior to the whole thing? And then afterward, the galvanized members are all joined by bolting or whatever, nuts and bolts or whatever. Can they be done like that, individual members being
Yeah,
galvanized?
generally, most of the construction, there are two aspects. One is bolted ones are easily to be galvanized so that
Correct.
they can be bolted. But the welded structures, particularly where these cuboids are there, they particularly are challenging because that dip is not available. The path is not available for that size, basically. So the individual members are galvanized, then the corner location where it is welded, generally that is covered, and then it is welded, and then that portion is spray painted. That's how.
Okay, okay.
Spray
Anyway,
well,
we
no.
can help you. We can help you. Even welded structures can be galvanized, and then it needs maybe mechanical cleaning. I was talking to you about pickling, degreasing, etc. Normal way. But wherever welded deposits are there, welded lines, welded deposit, they are cleaned by shot blasting, grid blasting, etc. And that can be
Yeah.
galvanized. Anyway, we can discuss this later, one to one, and you can take my number and give me a call. Would like to have more inputs, and certainly we will like to help you. Yeah.
Surely, sir. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice
Yeah.
presentation, sir.
My
Hemant,
presentation. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hemant, I'll
Yeah.
share the number, Hemant.
Surely, yes. Surely, sir. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone else has a question? Yeah, please unmute and ask. Baliga sir, please go on. Baliga sir, please go on.
Oh, no, nothing. Nothing. Gopi sir.
Okay, sir.
Can
Rajendra,
I
please.
ask a question?
Yeah, please
This is
go on. Please
Rajendra.
go on. Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
So my question is that, sir, we mentioned about this die-cast parts using zinc. How does the die-casting of aluminum compare with the zinc, sir?
Okay. See, aluminum die-cast components are much lighter than zinc. Density of aluminum. And aluminum die-cast components are preferred more and more in the automobile applications, carburetors, fuel pumps, many other. Because in cars we want to save and have more better fuel economy in automobiles. That's why that sector needs lighter components. And originally, for your information, maybe 30 years back, all components used in automobiles were all zinc die-cast. After the oil crisis, energy crisis, and because of the need for fuel economy, higher mileage, etc., more and more automotive players across the world, they all have shifted to aluminum die-cast components. In future, maybe 10 years later, 15 years later, you may see magnesium die-cast, which will be still lighter than aluminum, magnesium die-cast components. But zinc die-cast is mainly used, as you saw in my presentation, bathroom fittings and door locks, door knobs, builders hardware, where you need strength and rigidity. There you use more of zinc die-cast. For your information, I was also telling zipper and slider in travel goods and pants and jeans and ladies' bag, the zipper and slider, that's also zinc die-cast. Locks are all zinc die-cast. Godrej is one of the biggest.
So we are lost in between, sir. Hello.
Yeah. One thing, he talks about the rebars. Yes, sir. Sir.
Go on, sir. He's there.
Rebars. Now the FRP rebars has come. So the galvanized rebars are very costlier. Same thing can be done by FRP rebars also. What is your opinion, sir?
You're talking about fusion bonded epoxy?
No, it's FRP. When FRP rebars are available now in the market.
Really? So
Yeah.
can you educate me? I'm sorry, I got into fusion bonded epoxy. I was thinking about that.
I'll show you the details.
Yeah, give me the details. See, galvanized rebars are not expensive. It depends on the volume.
Yeah.
The more you send to the galvanizer, your cost of galvanizing will come down. At the same time, I should also tell you the galvanized rebar last for Sydney Opera House, 1960, 1970, they used. Even today, its sound structure is so strong, and even 85. Lotus Temple in Delhi, no concrete cracking, nothing has happened, no stains, etc. It's a long lasting, it's a metallurgically bonded coating. I don't know FRP, what is the type of coating. We can discuss later. You can educate.
It is made of FRP, fiber reinforced plastic. It is made of FRP.
Yeah, but I have no
I'll send you the detail.
That will be appreciated. That will be appreciated. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
Second one, mostly in the manufacturing of PVC pipes, in India only they are using lead-based chemicals. Whereas in US, and I think they are using tin-based chemicals because of the lead will get extracted slowly to the drinking water because mostly used for drinking water.
You are very right.
Have you thought? Huh?
You are very right. In many applications, they are thinking of removing lead being there. Lead-free petrol, lead-free paints, lead-free solder. This is very common internationally. In our country, there are restrictions, but people are still using the traditional material, traditional approach. And wherever lead is being used, chemicals, they should switch over to alternatives. Lead fumes is hazardous for them and even for the pipes also, they're using it.
Once it's a potable water supply, mostly they are using PVC pipes. No, that's fine.
Very, very risky, isn't it? Very risky.
Yeah.
This is where the regulatory body should be very strict in implementing wherever they are using. What are the pollution control boards doing? They have to see that this kind of hazardous chemicals, hazardous materials are not used in processing. They have to ensure that. And industry also, they may know, but still they want to use it just to remain in business or to
Costing.
Yeah, that's what. They don't mind killing people and make money, I think. That's unfortunate. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you. I'll share with you.
Thank you. Kindly send me the details. Yeah.
Yes. Next participant. Anyone else has a question? Haripriya, Tyagarajan sir, Chenny.
Nothing, Gopi. Wonderful.
I'm so sorry I was coughing in between, continuously talking. Today was a bad day for me. That must have been. But I'll be happy to share my presentation, more details.
Sure, sir.
And
Sure, sir.
you can share my contact details, Mr. Gopi. I can send you
I'll
my
do that,
email
sir.
ID. My email ID you may not have, I think.
It is there, sir.
My email ID you may not have.
It is there.
I'll share with you.
Okay, info dialz88.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, I'll share. What you said is right, but I'll share with you.
Yeah,
And
sir.
my mobile number or landline number, whatever, I'll share with you.
Sure, sir.
Yeah.
Anyone else has a question? I think we're done, sir. So anyway, sir. So thank you very much for joining us on a Sunday morning and sharing your wisdom. Pleasure having you with us. So we'll stay connected. I will talk to you at leisure, sir.
I should thank all of you. Veterans, people, ex-servicemen, retired executives, trying to learn, thirst for knowledge, for updation. You're all joining every week. I really admire. Hats off to all of you. And very interesting to see this kind of a network being active at this age through webinar. Thank you very much. Wonderful. Have a nice weekend. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Bye.